R. Don't get me to spelling.
Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, you're not a female. Alex, you're not a female, brother. See, me, my man, I messed it up already. I started off bad.
You're all good. Hey, that you can call me Alex, but yeah, that is my name, Alexis.
It is, Alexis?
Yeah, that's my name.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I didn't spell it wrong. I didn't pronounce it wrong.
No. You got it right.
Okay, where you at, brother? Give me some good advice or some questions. People are mad right now. They're sad right now. They're excited about opportunity. They're looking for hope. They're looking for information. What's up?
What's up, man? Well, I kind of missed the first part, so get me caught up on the topic, and
There is
then
no topic. You know what? I sit back. I got a lot of people on here that they follow me and they look because they want just information on the little bit of things that they can slowly do to improve their life. You may have a question for me, or you may have a suggestion of amazing things you're seeing happening, and you want to pass it on.
okay. One of my questions though, going for investors like yourself, I do have a small company for entertainment right now. I'm from Las Vegas, and I want to get to investors because I want to reach to a higher level of the entertainment. So right now I'm booking artists in the nightclubs and stuff like that, but I want to do my own thing in the like shows now. I wanna move to shows now. So I was learning from somebody else that I was like his wingman, learning all the game and everything. But I took my own company and I want to do it on my own big. Like I want to do big shows, big things. Like there's
Right.
plannings. So I want to get. How could I get to an investor? Like how, you know?
Got it. So I'm gonna simplify it for you. And obviously we know that nightclubs and all those things are not working. I'm not sure where your shows will be. Maybe they'll be
Yeah.
virtual, online, and things of that nature. But why do you need investors? I mean, because the whole purpose isn't it that you're supposed to own the company? If you get investors at an early stage, what is the reason for the investor?
So the reason for the investor is to be able to basically I'll be kind of like a promoter. So I have my own company, but I'll be sort of like a promoter. So you need an investor. I don't own the venue. So like we have venues here that you can just pay, and then I'll bring the artist, I pay the artist, and after that, when I sell out the show, then that's when I get the money.
And how will you sell out the show?
How? With the
All right,
artist.
all right. Pitch me on how much I need. How much are you looking for an investment right now? Right now, let's just do like right now. I'm not. I don't want to give you no high hopes because
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
not really
yeah.
my spot, right?
I got
But
you. I
right
got you.
now, tell me your pitch on why you need the money, how much you need the money, and what you're going to do with it, and how I'm going to get my money back, or a percentage of the company. What are you going to give me the pitch?
Okay, so it will be 20% return.
Okay, so
Uh,
this is not an investment in the company. This is purely you're going after money, people.
Show by show.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so to get a venue that I'm looking at is 20K per
Mm-hmm.
show, basically per the day. An average artist, Latino artist that I'm going for, big Latino artists, so they're 40, 50K. So just
Mm-hmm.
off that, that's already 70K. I have my friend that owns a production company that I'll get that for the low, so that's 10K. So that's let's say 40, 50, 60, 70K. That's basically it comes down to run the show.
No, didn't you?
And that
You said it was 60,000 for production, right?
no, 10K production, 10K.
10K for production, 20K for the artist.
No, 20K for the venue and 40K for the artist.
Okay, I got you. Now you're 70K. Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah,
So you need
70K.
70K. All right.
Yeah, 70K.
That's it.
That's it. Because
All right. How are you going to advertise and market it?
yeah, the marketing. I have a friend of mine that he does that, and he said he'll do it at no cost. So other
Well,
than
he's got to
that,
get paid. He's got to get paid something. Either he's going to get paid on the front end or the
of
back
course,
end.
yeah, after, yeah, after.
He's going to
So
get
I
paid
have
on the
to pay
back end.
upfront.
All right. How are you going to handle transportation and everything else for the artist?
Yeah, so I already have done bookings, like I said before, for the nightclub. So yeah, transportation, all of that. So
All
that'll
right.
be basically included on the 40K.
How many people can how many people can the venue hold?
On this one, 4,000 people.
4,000 people. And how many people do you expect to be there?
Uh, the artist that I'm talking to right now, she sells arenas about 10,000 people and up. So I'm hoping, it'd be a sellout for 4,000 people.
What's the price per ticket?
I can go as low as $50 and selling now. That's already 200K.
All right, 50. All right, per ticket. Will you receive any of the bar?
Yeah. So that'll be on the contract with the venue. Yes.
How much of the bar will you get?
We're still negotiating that, but it should be around 10-20% on the bar.
10-20%.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you're looking at right now approximately about. You're thinking that you're going to, and how much you asking for right now?
But I'm 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 asking probably for like 60K.
Because you already have some money.
Yes.
What experience have you had to show that you can return on the capital?
Uh, base for investors experience, I have none. But
But
on
no,
shows,
how many shows have you done?
I've done a couple shows. Not a lot. I can say 20 shows, but in the nightclubs though,
And
nightclubs. So
what
that's
and,
different.
and what size were the venues?
Oh
And
yeah,
how,
the venues is like 2,000 people.
and you did them all on your own?
Yeah, on my own and with somebody else. Yes.
All right. So here are going to be the immediate questions that are going to come up. They're going to be, all right, we're in COVID, obviously, number one. Number two, if you did 20 shows and if you made only, 10 grand in your pocket off of it, you should have 200 grand from the show. But let's say you were using them to live over the course of 2 years, then, okay, maybe you still have 50 or 60 or 70 grand from the shows. I know personally that every show won't be a hit, but I want to know the shows that went bad and why did they go bad. Also, when you did those shows, right now you're telling me that you got a friend that's going to do marketing, but after 20 shows, you should have already had marketing handled and not say I got a friend. You should either say I have a system, but what that says to me is when you did those shows, they already had a marketing system there that brought the people in, and you basically acquired the artists and put it together. So that means you don't know marketing.
Yeah.
You may not have made that much off the shows, and now you're going to depend on your friend doing the marketing. Now, when you brought the shows, when you did those shows, did you yourself do the operation of lights and sound? Meaning, not you yourself personally, but did
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
handle light, sound, transportation, or did you just get the artist?
Correct. I just basically did the booking for the artist. So
All right.
then I did the marketing, all of that. Yes.
All right. So that's really important to tell, an investor because they're going to ask you the same thing. They're going to basically go, well, it doesn't sound like you're an operator from a production side. It doesn't sound, which you
No.
already have a production guy or girl,
Yes.
right? It doesn't sound like you do marketing and you book artists. Well, why can't I do that myself? Why can't I just call up a booking artist agency, pay the same 40, and then do the work with the club themselves? And why can't I
You
do that
can.
myself?
You can. You can. You can. Yes.
See,
But with me is working with the clubs for a couple of years. I do have those relationships with the artists directly. You get me? So I went from working with the club directly, working to bring the artists to the club, and not build those relationships. Now I want to leave the club alone and do it my own show. That's
okay.
what I'm switching.
Well, I would suggest going out and doing very much smaller shows. And I personally wouldn't try venues right now. But right now, artists are not getting booked. They're not getting booked a lot. I mean, they're getting booked out of the country
Yeah,
for that. Right now, venues are wondering how they're going to pay their bills. So I would negotiate a different deal with a venue if you're going to do that,
yeah.
um, and create something a little bit different if I was you
Okay.
and do it small. And then if you fail very small.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
if you do it big, you can immediately go and say, look what I just did last month.
yeah.
Now I'm ready to pop this thing off in a big way. All right.
Exactly, exactly.
All right, brother. Well, all the best, man. I'm going to bring somebody else on, but hopefully this
Appreciate
was
it.
somewhat productive.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Let me look for somebody else here. I want to bring a female in here to get a female's perspective or questions or let's see what we got. We got 23 people waiting here. Um, I saw a woman who, like, she's from Detroit hitting me up. There you go. Oh, Jenny from the chopping block. It says you're unable to join, Jenny, but let me see. Chris, Nino Brown. I want to hit Nino up as well. Hey, we go. I got somebody here. I got a female here.
Hi,
Hi,
David. How
how are
are
you?
you?
I am well. I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. So great to talk to you.
It is really good talking to you. Where are
I
you
live
at?
I live in New Jersey.
Okay, good people there.
Yeah, and my husband's from Queens.
Even better people there. Sorry, I'm biased.
I've been trying to talk to you since March.
Really? On this
Yes.
right here? Okay,
Yeah.
well, good. All right, so that means you got something really juicy and interesting, and like you may save everybody's life with what you're about to say
Oh,
right here.
I hope so.
All
So
right.
I recently started a food business, and I make Syrian teas. I'm Middle Eastern, even though my name is Benita Perez. I make Middle Eastern cheese, and I got into two stores, one in the city, and then I got into a small cooperative store in Maplewood, New Jersey. So I'm starting my marketing plan, and people are starting to hear about it, and I'm getting lots of DMs, and people are telling me how much they're enjoying it, and they think it's delicious. And I sold out this weekend, so I was really excited.
Nice.
Yeah, so really good. So time to restock the store. And I wanted to do something unique where I'm connecting with other business owners, like local food people, right? Because everyone's hurting due to coronavirus. So I thought about coming up with like an Instagram live, kind of like what you do, and calling it Founders in Food, and just connecting all local people in my, my area, like where I live, like Millburn, Short Hills, that whole area, and connecting them to the other food people while promoting myself. So wanted your perspective on that. And then my other question for you is, I'm looking at margins at about 30 to 35%. And I didn't know from your Shark Tank experience, do you think that those are good margins on a food business?
All right, so a couple of questions here. So first of all, is it a good idea to put a collective group of people together that all have the same interests, especially right now geographically the same interests?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. All you're doing is being the FUBU of food of small people, and I think that huddling together, especially in a community, the same way we see. You walk down 47th Street, there is all jewelry shops from jewelry this to jewelry that. Now you may say, well, there's too many jewelry shops to buy stuff from, but no, some are making, some are selling, some are just doing
Mm-hmm.
gems, some are making molds, some are doing earrings, and others is doing watches, whatever the case is. So I
Right.
think that you can absolutely work off of each other. Now, the margins that you're working off of, it all depends on how much you're moving of the goods. Are you selling direct to your customer? I believe you're selling direct to the retailer, and then they're selling to the customer, right?
So right now, I was going to be in a farmer's market, but unfortunately, they're not allowing me to give out samples. So I
Yes.
decided to go the wholesale route right now. The one store is actually being super kind, and they're giving me 100% of the profit. They're just kind of letting me carry my stuff there. The other store, I'm wholesaling it to them, and I have a wholesale license. So
Okay.
I had this dilemma because of the whole COVID situation with the farmers market, because if you can't give out samples, this is something unique that a lot of people don't know about yet. And so I was kind of hesitant to do that retail side right now this year.
And why can't you give out samples due to COVID?
So the health department doesn't want people like touching food and passing food around because of coronavirus.
But why can't you pre-pack samples when and then give it to people already wrapped?
So that's a good point. I guess I
All right.
could do that, like kind of like
Yeah.
cut up small pieces of cheese and have them like wrapped in plastic wrap, and I could hand it out.
Yeah, you can
That
put
is
it,
an
you
option.
can put that there along as well with a sticker. When I used to
Hmm.
not have that much money and I used to walk in the mall, I walked by that sample spot 400 times so I can just get a full dinner. But I didn't have a sticker or anything else to understand who it was later on. So
Hmm.
somebody may come home and say, "Honey, I had 5 samples of this amazing cheese." They were down, and then they dig in their pocket and they got 5 wrappers in there
Right.
with, of course, your sticker on it or whatever the case is. Now, um, you know, it all depends on how much you moving and because this a new business?
It's a new business, so I've literally been up and running completely for 3 weeks.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
3 weeks. You sold out one place,
Yeah.
and you're already in another place. This is
And
absolutely amazing.
I'm also going to be in a you know how there people do those produce boxes.
Yeah.
I'm going
Yeah.
to be featured in a produce box next week.
All
And
right. So here's what you're doing right now. The simplicity of what you're doing is you are creating something and you're using other people's outlets. That means the two stores already have people coming to them, and this produce box already is hitting other people. So really great using somebody else's distribution instead of having to set up your own. In
right.
regards to the margins, there's two things to think about when it comes to margins. If you're up and running business and you know all your fixed costs, then margins are extremely important, because when you look at your business, if you said you were on, if people don't know here what margins are, when you say you said 30, but I'm going to simplify it. If you work on a 50% margin, this is the way you simplify it. I'm Daymond John. I make these clothes called FUBU. I make a jean for $25, and then I sell it to the store at $50. And I work on the 50% margin, because out of $50, 25 of it costs me. Half of it costs me this, and half of it, is what I'm making. That's a 50% margin. And then the store themselves, they buy it for 50 and they put it out for 100. They generally work on a 50% margin, right? But if you look at 50% margin and you break down working on a 50% margin, if you look at operation costs in your business, when you don't sell directly to the customer, you may have 5%, right? Of that 50% goes to advertising, marketing. You may have salary at 10%, utilities at another 5%. Then you have shipping and billing. You have office, and you have everything else. And you have what we call leakage. That means people steal shit. And then unfortunately, that's who's working in your company. So you really want to work on a 50% margin, because 30% may not be enough. However, if you're selling to someone like a Walmart and they are buying massive amount of goods, 30% margin is really, really good.
Okay.
Now, let's throw all that out of the window, because when you are starting out, you're 3 weeks in, the margin is not as important as the sale. So when I first started, I would go and get Champion shirts that cost me $30. I would put a big FUBU patch on top of the Champion,
Right.
cut the neck out of the Champion, and I would try to sell that sweatshirt for $50. Nobody bought it at 50. I would try to sell it at 40. Nobody bought it at 40. I was able to sell it at 30. What that meant was that, okay, maybe I lost a little bit of money because I bought the shirt there. I used time and gas. However, I realized my magic price point. I realized that I can say I'm working on a 50% margin all I want, but nobody's buying it. But I'm selling more at 30. That means that I need to first get the name out at zero margin.
Right.
And then I work backwards to buy my goods at a lower price or do whatever I need to do. So you're basically, Beauty Shark Ginger understands what I'm saying. It's a loss leader, right? Because a lot of people go, all right, well, you know what? I need a 50% margin and I'm going to spend $40,000 in advertising. Well, if you got a zero margin, but you didn't spend any on advertising, well, then you're better off than that person who's making 50%. You just spent $40,000 on advertising. Right. So you just need to think about it like that, especially 3 weeks into the business is a great time to be in the business. Now, what's the name of the business?
So it's my maiden name. So my name is Benita Casbos. So it's Casbos Market. And the entire vision of the company is to introduce simple Middle Eastern foods to the market. And Syrian cheese is something that's not really available on the market. It's only in very Middle Eastern neighborhoods, and you can't get it everywhere. I grew up in Paterson, New Jersey. Do you know Paterson?
I do. Yeah,
so I grew up there, and when my parents came here, that's where we lived, and everyone's mostly Middle Eastern. So through many years I've been making cheese for 15 years, and I started giving out to people, and they're like, "You should sell this. It's so delicious." So, But
why do I care about Middle Eastern cheese if I am? Because of course, when yogurt came out, they were like, "Oh well, Greek yogurt. You love yogurt, but Greek yogurt does this, this, and that." What is the advantages? Or it may not be advantage. It may be this is a very specific cheese that tastes a very specific way, and if you like these meals, well, this is the cheese they're using. It's not your normal.
Right.
So what is
So
the selling
what is so unique about this cheese is that it is made with this Middle Eastern seasoning, and it's pronounced mahlab, and it creates this nutty floral taste. So when you look at this cheese, I want to go get it. Can I go get it and show it to you? I have it.
Absolutely.
Give me 3 seconds. I will run. Hold on.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Now I know why her margins are messed up. She can't count. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Are you sure that your margins are only 30%? Because it seems like the number 3 is something you like. 30%. I'll be back in 3 seconds.
I have 3 kids. There you go.
There you go. All right.
So here it is. This is my packaging.
Okay, got it.
So, and then if you see here, see these little speckles?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the seasoning that makes this cheese taste so unique. And
now, are those actually, you said nutty, but are those nuts or no?
So this is what's so interesting. So inside of a cherry pit, someone smashes it, there's a seed in there. That seed is ground up, and it creates this amazing flavor that no one knows about.
But is it a nut? Considered a nut or no?
It's considered a seed.
Okay,
it's
interesting.
Considered a seed. So that seasoning I use it on this cheese to make it taste amazing. So
if you pitched my wife and said, I know that you have you're allergic to nuts, but I know you like food with that flavor that you can never have, and this cheese has that, and it's a seed, and it's not going to give you any kind of problem.
Right.
All right.
It's made from inside of a cherry pit. So this is something that is not everywhere. Very, very unique. So this cheese is delicious. And then when you melt it, it tastes different than when you eat it sliced. It's extremely unique. So when you eat it sliced, you get salt because it's salted. You get this nuttiness. You get this little hit in the back of your throat. Then when you melt it, the saltiness gets distributed throughout the cheese. And it's amazing. You have to look at my Instagram page. You'll see pictures.
All right. So I'm going to hop off in a little bit, but I love the story. So what is your, all right, describe that cheese in 2 to 5 words, or your business in 10 words.
Okay. So the business is going to be curated Middle Eastern foods. I'm starting with cheese. I'm going to go into spices that go along with the cheese. And my goal is to educate people on Middle Eastern food and
But you got to go small, but you got to go for the cheese lovers first, because you'll grow.
That's where I'm starting.
Like I said, I started with hats. I went all the way to everything else, but it took me 10 years to get to that point.
Right.
I want you to stay narrow and focused on the immediate delivery.
Yeah. So I'm starting with cheese for everyone who loves cheese, and I'm planning on expanding as I go along into other Middle Eastern flavors to bring it to your plate. That's my goal.
All right. Well, all the best and good luck with everything else.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure. You're so wonderful. I love you so much.
Well, thank you. I apprioet you. Thank you. Everybody. Thank you so much. Everybody said right here. Some people said Mary_Pat said, okay, what's your website? What's your, tell everybody how to follow you.
Sure. So it's casbosmarket.com. It's KASBOS market.com. My Instagram is the same. It's Casbos Market.
Is this cheese expensive, middle, or very affordable?
It's pretty affordable. So it retails at $16.99 a pound. So this bag is about $12.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not, it's not cheddar. So
what do people usually use it on?
Oh my gosh. So you can obviously eat it just sliced. And then you also can pair it with tomatoes and cucumbers. And then this is one of my little one here. And also it's so delicious, melted on like a baguette. It's literally, you can get a string like this big. That little girl that you just saw, she makes like strings that are huge every day. But it is an everyday cheese. I just created a marketing piece that has a variety of ways to eat it. That's going to go into that food box. Oh, watermelon, it's fantastic, and also cantaloupe.
With watermelon? Cheese with watermelon?
It pairs excellent with watermelon. I want to bring this to your New York office.
All right. Well, we will talk about that. All right. Well, maybe I'll send you a place to mail. All right. Well, I appreciate it. And all right, everybody. So check her out and check out the cheese, and it's all good. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. Stay
Goodness.
healthy.
Bye-bye.
Bye
Stay
bye.
well.
Come on, she's not making any excuses. 3 kids, 3 weeks in business. One store sold out already. Another store, doing okay with it. She's still thinking about how she's going to get to outside markets, and she's already thinking about margin. Come on, I mean, I don't think anything's harder than raising 3 kids. So if she can do it, all of us can. Because I can't raise 3 kids. I've raised 3 kids, but I've had 2 really amazing partners. So all good, all good. I really appreciate that time. I got time for one more. I'm going to bring one more on here. Let's see. Let's see if I can get somebody else. Okay. Boom. Let me see who's on here. All right. I want Jenny from the Shop Mug. Now it says I can talk to her. Somebody just said grilled watermelon is good as well. I never thought about that. Wow. I'm waiting for Jenny from the chopping block right now. Let's see if she comes on. Nope, it dropped her. Crap. All right. Sorry about that. I got Shantae _ official coming on here. Let's see. Hey,
You picked me.
how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. I couldn't. Your avatar is really small. Did you have a graduation cap on in there? Was that? Did I see that?
No,
I'm
no,
not
no.
sure.
That's like a it's just a denim like head wrap, like a bandana, but made out of denim.
That's your thing.
Yeah, that's my thing.
All right. Where are you
I'm in
right
Los
now?
Angeles.
You're in LA. How you guys doing out there?
Well, it's hot because I
Yeah.
live in a valley, but everything's closed for the most part, so we really can't go anywhere, which is it's
Oh.
good and bad for me because like it keeps me focused on what I'm trying to build now, so it's
So
okay.
what are you trying to build now? You have any questions or maybe some
Ye-
kind of some great
Yeah,
advice?
so most people know like me from the music industry, but I'm pivoting into a totally different industry. I found something that I absolutely love. Not that I don't love music, because I do, but what I found now, it just gives me a different type of just happiness, I guess you could say. And I'm really big on like aromatherapy type of stuff because I deal with anxiety, which I'm like sweating right now. You probably can't tell. I'm
Hmm.
like super nervous, but I'm doing massage candles, and I'm working on the recipe right now. It's going to be proprietary, and I'm not in the stage of launching yet. But I like to think ahead of what I could do to, when I get to that point, like just make it run more efficiently. So my question is, what do you think is best? Do you think it's better to just right out the gate create an LLC for the company, or is it wise to be a sole proprietor and just get business insurance? I live in California, so when you start an LLC out here, it's like an $800 a year franchise tax. So I don't necessarily want to pay that out the gate yet, especially for something that I'm just starting out with. But do you think I should just bite the bullet and go ahead and do that anyway? Just for protection purposes, I guess.
Yeah. So what I would suggest is first of all, you should definitely talk to an attorney. But um, it depends on if you're starting out the gate in a big way. You have a lot of orders and things of that nature. If you don't, then I would go after protecting the name and the entity, meaning what it is that the end user is seeing, because you want to get proof of concept that it works. And you may be making these in your house. They may not have any soy in them, or they may be fragrance, or whatever the case is. But you just want to sell a couple, and and maybe you have a name on them or not at the time. But because it's going to cost you money to trademark the name, not a lot. I mean, well, I'm not going to say not a lot. It could be a lot to people. But I would first try to make sales first,
Okay.
because the reason why they're going to keep buying, and especially your friends and everything else like that, and try to get your friends to also be your ambassadors and sell them to other people, the reason why they're going to buy them and reorder them is because it's just a great candle. And they can massage themselves or their significant other or whoever it is, their kids
Right.
with it. It smells really great, and they're going to have a great time, and they're going to reorder from you. You can set up an LLC and all that other stuff, but it's going to be challenging if you don't have enough sales because you want to put the money right now into knowing that you have something that people want.
Right. Right. That makes a lot of sense. So
Yeah.
are you saying even before getting an LLC, I should get a trademark first before doing that? If it gets to that point where the sales are proven?
Yeah, but how much? But again, that all depends on how much sales you have, right? Because then you know what to open the LLC under. You know, because once you have a trademark cleared, the LLC does not have to be under the same name of whatever it is, but I find that the trademark is more important. You see, because an LLC can be changed, the operating company can be changed, and all those can be altered. But if your brand name, you start to get traction on your brand name, and then you open LLC, that's fine. But people start to really love your brand name, and then all of a sudden somebody sends you a cease and desist and says you can't use that name. Well, now all of a sudden the connection with your customer goes away because all those hashtags you used under your name, all those labels you printed, all of that stuff goes away. So I would suggest that before anything. But before you do a trademark or a LLC, make a couple. Don't put names on them, whatever the case is. Sell, give, trade, whatever you want to do to other people to make sure that that it's the home run candle. And the way I can basically say that, I tell people this all the time. When I came out as a designer, I made 10 shirts with 10 different colors, but I realized that 60% of the sales or 65% of the sales are black, and 20% are white, and then mixed in between a couple other colors. So I went from 10 colors to 2 colors. I had 10 logos. I saw the ones that were selling more, these 2 logos. So I got rid of those 8. And you start to get narrow and deep, and then I knew that my customer would pay $19.99, but not $39.99.
Right.
You start to get narrow and deep on that customer. That's when you start to understand more of that trademark and what the value is that you are selling to people. Because candles are all around. So are t-shirts, right? I'm not saying that it's hard for you to get it out, but you might find out they're buying it more because of you. You might find out they're buying it more because more women are buying it for their husband, or husbands are buying it for their wives. You may find out it's more affordable than the other natural candles out there, or it's a premium one. You gotta really get home in on why you are finding success, and obviously drop the other reasons where you're failing.
So do like all the market research first before even thinking about
Market research is getting in people's hands. I mean, you can make a candle from home. You can make 10 from home, right? You can make them in little simple ones, little small ones, because maybe you don't have enough money to make the size you want. You can make little simple small ones, give to people or on consignment. But market research, the data will never tell you. If you would have looked at the data from FUBU, you would have said, well, I don't know how many African Americans buy clothes, and I don't know how many would support or hip hop kids buy clothes. The data wouldn't have been there right now, So look, the entire world, or really our country, is in trouble because they're not paying attention to the data.
Okay.
Right, so you gotta get it out in people's hands. It's just like when you were in the same business. Were you a singer?
A songwriter.
Songwriter. Okay, all right, good.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you're gonna find data on songwriters out there. I'm sure because of the organization there is, but wherever you found success may not have been traditionally in the data.
Well, that was just through, I don't know, word of mouth, just doing good work. And just people recommending me and saying, "Oh, she's dope," and
And that's exactly what you need to do with the candle. You just answered your own question.
Right.
All right. All the best.
Hey, can I send you one just for you to check out?
You can DM me your info, and my team will DM you back where to send it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
All right, everybody. There it is. So remember, I'm not going to be on tomorrow for Power Shift Your Week as well as Power Shift Talks, but I will try to come back the following Monday. If I don't, I will be back the following Tuesday. But I will be doing some more of these randomly, like 10 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night during the week, to catch up to more amazing entrepreneurs and let them share their brands or ideas, or maybe give me some advice so we can all keep learning. I wish you all the best. Have a really great week. Stay safe. Remember, wear your mask, wear your goggles, whatever you need to do. Don't hang out and touch a lot of people. You never know where they have been. And And love your family and love God or whoever your God is. And all the best. Later.